Hi and welcome to Jagee's Cookbook. I'm back again, yes, with yet another wonderful episode. Yes, and I'm going to show you, today, a very special episode of bread making. Now, something which whets the appetite without any doubt is the aroma of freshly baked bread. It's beautiful. The smell is so comforting and so soothing, especially when you really make bread at home. The reward, it's very rewarding and it's very comforting and soothing. Now there are some stages you have to learn in the basic bread methods or bread making process. First of all, you have to learn and we actually be aware of the techniques, and then we can, you can be encouraged to try different types of bread, and you'll be very happy to know that it will turn out really good. So this time I'm going to show you a very simple braided bread, which is very comforting. It will definitely make all your kitchen smell gorgeous and wonderfully soothing. And yes, on Jagee's Cookbook this time, I'm back again with yet another lovely episode just for you. So for our bread making, first of all, there are 3 stages, or rather 4. We have to mix the ingredients together. Then we have the kneading stage. That's the second stage. Then we have the proving stage, where we let the mixed dough, the kneaded dough, rise and ferment. Then we have the baking stage. So we have 4 stages. First stage, what I'm going to show you now, is the mixing stage. The mixing stage obviously involves mixing the ingredients. So here I've got 225 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm just going to show you the basic bread, the basic plated bread. I'm not going to use any other flours or grains or anything, just all-purpose flour, okay? So 225 grams of all-purpose flour going in the bowl, okay? And then, we'll keep this aside, we don't need this. Then what we need is 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, remember, the measurements are very precise, so you have to be very careful. 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Not 1.5 and not 3/4, 1 teaspoon. In it goes. Then we need 2 tablespoons of skim milk powder. Now, if you don't have skim milk powder, no problem, you can add any other milk powder. If you don't want milk powder, don't add, no problem. All you have to do is, you have to lessen the amount of the water I specifically going to tell you. Now, this is a tablespoon. So here we need 2 level tablespoons of skim milk powder. The next ingredient what we need is yeast, the very essential ingredient. Yeast, this is now ready-made, quick mixing yeast, okay? So I don't have to actually mix it in lukewarm water or anything. We get it out here now. All you have to do is just add it in the dough. So 1 teaspoon of quick cooking or quick blending yeast, okay? So that is 1 teaspoon. In that goes. So that takes care of all the dry ingredients. What we do is, with a wooden spoon or any spoon, we just mix the ingredients together, okay? Just mix everything together. Now, next what we do is, we just make a well, okay, in the middle of the dry ingredients. What we do is, with a spoon, I'm going to show you a trick I've shown you before, okay? First of all, what we do is, we need 2 tablespoons of oil. Any oil will do, not coconut oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, olive oil. Then we need 1 tablespoon of honey, okay? Now you can add sugar, but I specifically like honey because it adds more moisture and it adds a special flavor to it. So 1 tablespoon of oil. Now when we use oil and honey together, okay? First, always use the oil and then measure out the honey, because it will slither out of the spoon once you do it. I'll just show you what I mean. So here we need 2 tablespoons of oil. 2, 1 and 2. Okay, then what we do is, in the same thing, in the same spoon which I've taken the oil, I'm going to add the honey. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of honey. And what happens magically is when I just take it out, it's just going to slither out without leaving a trace of honey. It's not magic, it's just science. Okay, now next what we do is we have to mix all the ingredients together. We need 175 ml of lukewarm water, not cold water, not hot water, lukewarm water. Now, lukewarm water is not hot or cold, it's blood temperature, your body temperature. Now, just mix everything together, and with some water. Now, it always varies, okay? What you have to, the amount of water used, because it always depends upon the temperature, the climate, the temperature of the kitchen, the ingredients used, the flour, everything. So I have said 175. Probably you'll need only little less than that, or probably you'll need more than that. But you have to keep on just adding little by little until you get the specified consistency I'm going to just show you now. Okay? So keep on mixing till all the ingredients are, they just come into a clump, okay, into a dough. Bread making is a precise method of cooking. It's not, approximation like the usual cooking methods. Usual cooking methods are approximation. You can add a little bit of that and a little bit of this, and shoop, you can get what you want. But in baking, it's a very precise method. Okay, now a little more. So in this, I took exactly 175, but I didn't need all of it. There's a little bit left. This much is enough for with the spoon. Now I'll have to go with the most important implements used in the kitchen, hands. Okay, so we have to use our hands in the bread making process. This is the first stage, that is the mixing process. The second stage is the kneading process. So for the kneading process, we need a clean work surface. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this particular work surface, which is clean and dried and perfect for kneading. So what I do is I dump the mixed dough, okay, the mixed ingredients dough, I dump it onto a clean work surface. Well, you have to do the kneading process for at least 10 to 15 minutes, because kneading, the texture of the bread and the gluten, okay, is developed during the kneading process. Like I told you in the introduction, all wheat flours contain a sticky protein called gluten, and gluten, when developed, it acts like elastic and it captures the carbon dioxide which is given off by the yeast. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start kneading. Okay, now go into it with 2 hands, okay? You have to use both the hands, and what you do first is, now it's called the fold, turn and push method, okay? First you have to fold the dough, okay? First we have to let the gluten develop. So we have to, like what we do for a chapati dough, we just keep on pushing and let it become very, very smooth. Just keep on pressing it. So like I specified first, what you do first is fold, okay? Do a quarter turn and push, okay? First we fold. It's a bit messy, but it's rewarding, really. Fold, quarter turn and push. Okay. Now JG's specified method or specific method is what we do. What I do is I use both the hands and do this method. So I go like this. So I'm actually pushing, turning, and also I'm folding. So push, turning, and folding methods. That's the usual bread making method. But when you use both the hands, it's a very, very good idea to use both your hands and do the same thing. Okay? Now, this has to be kneaded around 10 to 15 minutes, okay? So that the gluten all develops and this becomes very soft, just like a baby's bottom, okay? And then what we need to do is we have to leave it to rise for at least 2 hours, okay? Now, here, I don't have time to wait for 2 hours. So what I did here is I've got a dough which has been already left to actually rise or to prove, okay? So here, it's the same dough, it was just this much, okay? And I had done this around 2 hours ago, and I had left it for proving. This is called the proving stage, okay? Now, so this is the kneading, first of all the mixing stage, then the kneading stage, and then the proving stage. Slowly take this, and it's really soft, okay? What I do here is I knead it again for 2 to 3 minutes, okay? So this has some oil, but I have to knead this again, okay, for 2 to 3 minutes, okay? So that you have to knock all the air out and make it more softer, and the gluten has to develop more. This is the second stage of the proving method, okay? Now, the kneading stage, okay, the second stage is, or the fermenting stage, the second stage I'm going to show you right now, okay? First of all, you knead it for 2 minutes more, and then I just kneaded this for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to do a plate, okay? I'm going to plait it together to make a braided. I'm going to braid it together and make a braided loaf, okay? So first what we need is we have to roll it into, well, you know, a sort of rectangular shape, okay? Now you've got a sort of fat sausage, okay? And we need to divide this. The reason I did this was I want to divide it into 3 equal portions. I'll tell you why, and I'll show you why, okay? So take a knife and cut it into 3 equal portions, okay? Try to make it as equal as possible. So first one, the second one, and the third one. What we need to do is just see if it needs a little bit more adjusting. If it does, then, you know, just adjust so that we get 3 equal portions. First, what we do is take the middle one, okay? And just keep this aside. And what we do is roll it with your hands and make it a rope sort of thing, okay? Just keep on rolling it. And we need to make 3 ropes for this, okay? Okay, now the second one, the second rope, okay? Now the third rope. Just keep on rolling it. The third rope, okay? Now just keep it this side. God, it's so hot. Okay, what we do now here is we're going to braid this, okay? Just like we braid the lady's hair, we're going to braid it, okay? So first, be very, very careful, and one, second like this, okay, and the third like so. Be as careful. And just tuck the sides in, okay? This has to be left for this. Now it's shaped up, okay? This is just one shape. You can shape it into any shape, or you can just leave it as one loaf. This has to be left for 30 minutes, okay? So after proving for 30 minutes, then we can actually bake. I'm just going to, well, I just prepared a sheet. And what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to keep the already shaped thing into this to let it prove for around 30 minutes. Now after 30 minutes, this is going to double again, okay? And then I'm going to, again, put it in a preheated oven for around 200 degrees and then bake it for around 20-25 minutes till it's done, or 30 minutes, 35 minutes, depending upon the oven, okay? So I'm going just to leave it. Now with a towel, okay, all you have to do is a clean towel, okay? Just cover it and leave it for 30 minutes. The second stage of the proving method. Leave it in a warm place for around 30 minutes. After that, come back again. Okay, now it's 30 minutes and finished fermenting. Now what we have to do before putting it in the oven, what we have to do is brush on some egg yolk and put some sesame seeds, preheat the oven, and then we'll just bake it for again 30 minutes. So I preheated my oven. What I do is with some egg yolk, just glaze it. Now why I do this is to give a beautiful golden brown to the bread, okay? It'll give you a beautiful glazed effect. It can be just a beaten egg or just egg yolk. Okay, now you must have noticed now it's become a bit more bigger than before 30 minutes. Okay, or what we do is with some sesame seeds. Okay, now it can be either black or white. Now here I've got white sesame seeds. All I do is just sprinkle it on. It's not necessary. Okay, it just gives a good effect. There are some black sesame seeds also in it. And then what we do is I just put it in the oven, okay, preheated oven, 200 degrees for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, we're ready with our golden, beautiful brown bread. Now, my bread must be ready. A lovely smell. It obviously has a beautiful smell. Bread always have a lovely smell. Now, be very careful because it's very hot. Yes, wow. Beautiful golden brown bread. It's glazed also. Just put it on here. Yes, it's ready. Now, what I can do is first I'll transfer it on to a plate. Very careful. Ooh, it's hot. And then it's ready. Now I'm just going to spread on some butter, not necessarily, but just to give you that gorgeous, gorgeous glazed effect. And there, my bread is done. You can eat it with absolutely anything you want. Okay, beautiful, oh, gorgeous, glossy, and waiting to be eaten just for you.